Understanding your customers and positioning. The starting point for considering your brand strategy is to think about your customer and your category. Who is your customer? Who competes with you? This isn't just about your direct competitors, though. It's also about the behaviours and substitutes that you compete with from the customer's point of view. You see, understanding your market isn't easy to do, but it's really essential so you can assess your customers to know their problems or challenges when they buy from you. You should have a really good idea of the alternative options they consider, how they look for solutions to their problems, what leads them to you, what are their hopes and dreams. Considering your competition involves identifying both your direct competitors and your indirect competitors. You see, these might have similar offerings or entirely different ones that enable customers to achieve similar outcomes but in different ways. You see, in identifying your audience's needs, wants, and values, and how you factor into them, bear in mind that people are generally looking to make their lives better. So it's appropriate to talk about those hopes and dreams in your communications. Clarity around positioning is key. Start by considering your category, then think about what problems you are solving and what problems your direct competitors are also really good at solving. This is the category benefit that you offer. However, to position yourself in a distinctive way involves solving a problem that your competitor isn't solving. Now, in our case, that insight led to our decision to offer brand strategy services. I know how important it is to start any new venture or project, especially in the digital economy, by considering the impact of intellectual property. I could see the confused thinking there is in the market around branding, and intellectual property. Sometimes customers were rushing around to deal with their branding at the very same time as they were coming to us to address their IP, often quite unaware of the impact of IP on those separate decisions they were making during branding, such as what name to use. I had noticed the lack of attention to IP that characterizes the branding industry, who often start with design and then will leave IP for the client to address themselves later. So I knew we had something unique to bring to customers, which other branding strategists couldn't offer, even if they involve lawyers in what they do. This step is the most important one to make for your business before moving on to decide your vision, mission, and values. Understanding the customer's core challenges, pain points, fears, and desires enables you to know what emotional messages will get cut through to them, you see. Your brand strategy is essentially about creating a way for your business to develop and grow. A lot of thought goes into it because your brand strategy revolves around your overarching ambition and vision for your brand. From there, you go on to determine your mission and values. These underpin your branding and will guide your decisions, including what your business will and won't offer and how it will approach everything. These fundamentals involve having clear answers to seemingly simple questions such as What do you do? Who do you do it for? Why does that matter? And what do you stand for? Now, I've discussed brand strategy at length in the Brand Tune podcast in episodes called Why Have a Brand Strategy for Your Business, parts 1 and 2. These are episodes 27 and 29. Now, if you do search for the podcast, best to use my name, Shireen Smith, alongside, because for some reason Apple Podcasts doesn't show up brand tuned on its own. I don't know why that is. So once you emerge from a strategic branding exercise, you should be clear about who your brand is to be and where you're headed in terms of the end goal of your business. You would also be clear about the sort of content you're going to share, the sort of stories you would have. Then, at the very end, you would choose brand associations to attach to yourself as a mental shortcut to the brand meaning and to encapsulate the company's brand promise. These act as a reminder of your brand. Typically, you'd come up with a concept to reinforce with customers and then work with a creative team to develop ways to express it. New associations can be added over time, building up a rich set of touchstones to the concepts behind your company's brand. Associations include the logo, an icon, other visual signposts and designs that will ensure you're remembered and recognized. So there is an element of brand strategy which needs to be dealt with when you commission the visual identity. However, if you already have your brand strategy, you really don't need to have an in-depth exercise with your creatives who may also offer brand strategy, provided you can give them a brand book with a range of keywords in it which will make it easier for them to design the visual identity. They just really need a quick sort of couple of hours with you to go over your brand strategy.